Okay, welcome everybody to our Men of Plexus call. We're so excited to have you guys here. We're going to have it totally run by men, and that's totally fine. We're going to just switch it up a little bit and throw a little female intro in here. But we are so excited to have you guys here to learn about Plexus, to learn about what we do and how we help people change in their life and make changes from a place of thriving, whether that's financial or health, or struggling, to a place of thriving. And that all of us started originally for various reasons. And we're going to share about them a little bit on this call. During the call, if you are new, we ask that you put a 1 in the comments. If you are new and you've never done this before and you're like, okay, here I am, I have no idea what this is, but I'm here to learn, put a 1 in the comments. And we are going to be raffling off some of our pink drink. Pink drink is absolutely for men. All these men here drink it. And we'll talk about what that does. See, James has got his right there. We joke that men down it in like a shot and women fill up. This is mine. So we all drink it differently, but it all helps. And so we will send you a free sample of one. And we'll get that out. So we'll pick some of those during the call. Let's see how we're going to start. Let's start with James. Will you start? Just introduce yourself and tell us where you're from and a little bit about your family, why you started, and how it's helped you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, thanks for having me on the call. I'm excited to be here. I like being able to kind of tell my story and our family story and try to help out as many people as we can. So my wife and I and our 5 kids, we live in just outside of Rochester, New York. And my wife and I are both nurse practitioners. So we kind of, come at some of these products, I think, with some medical background and a little medical skepticism, I think. And that's, I think, why I love that to share that, is because I come from a background of like, I don't really believe in a lot of this stuff kind of a mentality. And I'm a true believer in these products that Plexus has to offer. So I kind of started, I was the guinea pig of the house. There's a guy in a hickory sweatshirt rolling around on one of these screens. He's my old Rob Port's my old high school football and basketball coach, and he was posting some stuff on Facebook about, he's got an amazing weight loss journey as well, and he's got some great before and after pictures that he was posting. And I actually, to kind of tell you how great they are without being able to show you, I showed a friend of mine that went to our high school as well. I showed a picture of Rob's before and after pictures, and she thought that it was Rob and his son in the picture. He's showing it up right there. So they thought it was him and his younger son, is how much weight he lost and how great he was looking. So I was like, he's probably, I would say, one of the top three guys that I trust more than anything in the world. So he was, doing this thing. And I thought that must be something to look into. And, for me, it started off with a weight loss journey too. As a nurse practitioner, I think I had a lot of, I knew what to do nutrition wise. I knew what to recommend to my patients. I knew, how important movement and exercise and all these things were, but it wasn't like really working for me. I was kind of, trying to eat right. I was going to the CrossFit gym, 4 or 5, 6 days a week, and I wasn't moving the needle how I wanted it to. And so I thought, well, I'll give this a shot and see what happens. So I started as a weight loss journey, but it turns out like this is not like a weight loss gimmick or weight loss product. So for me, since starting, I've been maybe taking the products for about 5 or 6 months, and I've lost about 10 pounds, kind of just slow and easy, but my clothes feel loose. So I think what's not translating as a scale number is translating as, shrinking a little bit. So I feel, feeling more confident in the clothes that I wear. But I think the most amazing thing to me is this was like a huge energy boost. So for, everyone's got their own kind of sense of, like life is busy. Everybody's got a busy life, and it's all relative to kind of your own situation. So our situation is like, I work full time as a nurse practitioner. I moonlight on the weekends and evenings in an urgent care. I teach an online master's degree college course. So I was like busy all day long. We have 5 kids that are doing sports, and we're flying all around town, and I was just like dog tired, right? So Um, I thought that was just kind of normal. I was, approaching 40, super, busy, kids running around everywhere. And I was just dog tired. And it turns out that that wasn't really normal. So kind of, your body goes through this inflammation kind of on the inside that we can't see, and that inflammation actually makes you tired. I know that I don't know if Thomas is on here yet, but he's got an amazing podcast, and he talks about some inflammation from a medical standpoint. And it's this full body inflammation, and it was just like wiping me out, and I was super tired, and I didn't know why. And so I was addicted to these like caffeine and energy drinks. So I would do, wake up in the morning groggy, struggling to get out of bed. On my way to work, I don't know if you guys have ever stopped for a large Dunkin' Donuts iced coffee, but the things have to be like 5 gallons, right? So I'd drink one of those in the morning. I go to work. At lunchtime, I would do, a Monster or a Rockstar energy drink, these cans of like toxic ooze. And they weren't turning me into a teenage mutant ninja turtle. They were, killing me, I think, from the inside. So I would do one of those at lunch, and then I'd still have to do another one at like 5 or 6 o'clock at night. And I was built myself up to where I was drinking like 300 milligram cans. And so I was having, close to 1,000 milligrams of caffeine probably in a day. And one day I drank so many energy drinks and caffeine that I actually put myself into atrial fibrillation and had to go to the hospital and get cardioverted back into a normal rhythm. So I was like, this is crazy. And then my cardiologist, he asked me what my diet and caffeine intake, and I'm pretty sure I lowballed him pretty good on the caffeine intake, and he still thought I was nuts. So, it wasn't for me, when starting the products, it wasn't like a quick, like, boom, you know, day one, I felt like amazing and things were so different. It was like a gradual, like my body had to heal, the inflammation had to resolve. And I was one day driving home from work, and I was like, man, it's been like 2.5 weeks and I haven't had an energy drink. Like I haven't gone across the street to get a Monster or Rockstar. So that was like, have so much energy back that I, thought I would never get back. And I didn't know how to get out of that cycle. And it's been like, I started as a weight loss journey, and now it's turned into like this like amazing energy, rekindle or rebirth. So I've been feeling fantastic. And I feel like I could go on for like a whole hour talking about like how my wife has been, she's had so much stomach issues and stomach pain from a C. diff infection years ago. She's like feels amazing. Our kids take the products. We get great reports from school. We've noticed that they don't want to have like the sugary desserts that they've wanted before. So it's just like in my grandma-in-law and my dad and like all these, like I could just go on and on and on about how amazing these products have been for people. And as I said at the beginning, like I was a huge skeptic coming from a medical background, and to see it like firsthand, it's like it gives me chills and goosebumps to just be able to talk about it. And I want to get the word out to as many people as we can. I feel like in my profession, I have our office opens at a certain time in the morning and it closes at a certain time in the evening, and there's only so many appointment slots that we can see patients and help in a day. And this is a vehicle to just get more information out to the masses. And I think the men of the world, we need this stuff, you know we need it so much too. I can't, it's like takes my, like I lose my train of thought just thinking about how it's so important that, you know, we we need it. And it doesn't have to be like an end of the, like the last road for people. So like my wife, it was kind of like the end, like we just need to do this because what else do we have to lose? We couldn't figure out anything else. And for others, for healthy, people on the outside, they're super active, they look super fit, and they don't feel miserable. Like this is still an amazing product for those kind of people as well. Um, and I think so. I could go on and on about that, but one of the things that I love most about Plexus is it's kind of like this choose your own adventure journey, right? So so many people just take the products and they start off with the products and they start feeling amazing and they have this amazing like health, either recovery or kind of, just feeling so much better. And then there's other people, that want to make a little bit of extra money or a side income, change their financial future and their financial trajectory. And, some people want to just do enough. My mother-in-law just wants to share enough to she gets her products paid for, right? And then there's the rest, it can kind of go up and the sky's the limit really from there. And so I love that about, just being able to kind of you start in one spot, and that doesn't necessarily pigeonhole you into that's just the way that it goes. And you can take advantage of so many other benefits other than, having um, just a healthy lifestyle. You can also change your financial future. And for us, that's kind of what we're hoping to do. Like the past 2 nights I've missed sporting events for my kids, and it just like tears me up because I'm at the office. And so I want some time, time back to just be able to say like, well, I don't want to have to work on a Saturday because my kids have a soccer tournament, or I don't want to have to work till 9 p.m. on a Monday because I'm going to miss softball games. So that's just like the health part is amazing. The part of that is amazing as well. And so I'm happy to be here. Thanks for inviting me to share my story, and hopefully, you know, somebody can relate to, my story as well, and hopefully can change your future as well.
Thank you so much. I absolutely love everything that you shared. And it's true. Like it's not just the women that need this, like adults need this, kids need this, right? We all need to show up better in whatever capacity that we have so that we can show up better in life, so that we can serve more people and help more people and do what God put us here to do. So next we're going to hear from Thomas. He's going to share a little bit about the importance of gut health, why it's important, like from his perspective, and how all of these things also relate to men specifically.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me as well. Wow, James, that was awesome, man. Thank you for sharing that. Like that, everything that you said, I could echo. And, can I get an amen on a Tuesday, right? That was awesome. Oh my gosh. I mean, from the health journey that you've had to, the financial impact, I mean, I could echo all of those things and just add an exponent to that. I mean, that was awesome. So guys, I'm Thomas Hemingway. I'm a physician of 20 plus years. And although nothing I say here is medical advice, I'm going to share with you, a little bit of my journey, as well as a little bit of what these products can do. And kind of like James said, I mean, really, they work for anybody. It doesn't matter how healthy you already are, or if you want to get healthier. Like I literally have not found one person that these products could not help. Like as long as you're human, these products will help you. Last time I checked, I think pretty much all of us are human. So you're in a good place. You're in the right meeting. This is going to be great. So the three primary goals that these products have are to decrease inflammation, and James kind of talked about that a little bit, to improve your blood sugar balance. And this one, a lot of people don't really think too much about, but they have symptoms or things that they go through on a daily basis that are related to this. I'll talk more about that. And thirdly, to improve your gut health. So those are kind of the three principal, roles or things that really these products can accomplish in really each and every human. And I'll just tackle each one individually, just super brief. So firstly, decrease inflammation. Inflammation is really the mother of all illness. I mean, almost everything that you get, and I think James from his healthcare perspective could echo this, comes from inflammation of some kind. You think about all of the inflammatory disorders out there that people have, everything from autoimmune stuff like thyroid disease. You have all kinds of arthritides or achy joints and bones and things. Those are all from inflammation. Or if you think of, you guys have heard of leaky gut, or maybe you have leaky gut, maybe you have any kind of intestinal problems, that's all caused by inflammation. That's literally the root of basically all illness, all disease, whether it be autoimmune things or even infectious things. These are all inflammatory in nature. And the cool thing about these products is that they help decrease inflammation. And they do that by a couple of different mechanisms. And I'm not going to go into all the science of that right now. If you want, I actually did an entire podcast on inflammation, so you can check that out on my Modern Medicine Movement podcast. But Plexus helps with that. It decreases the inflammation so that not only you feel less achy, like I'm going to be 50 soon, and I literally feel like a teenager. Like I don't have the aches and pains that I used to have, 6 years ago before I started taking these products. I wake up feeling energized. I don't have swollen, feet at the end of the day. My hands don't hurt like they used to. I mean, I used to have terrible back pain. And Plexus has helped with all of these things because it targets the root cause of illness and it targets inflammation. The second thing it targets is what I mentioned earlier is blood sugar balance. And most of us have had times in our life where we felt low energy, where we felt, like, oh my gosh, like I got to reach for some kind of, whether it be like James mentioned, Red Bull or Monster or some kind of energy drink, or maybe it's that like, healthy snack that we think is good for us. We reach for some granola bar or something because we feel like our blood sugar is dipping and we just don't have that energy. And funny story, my wife used to buy me Snickers bars. That was like the one candy that I've always enjoyed my entire life. And I literally haven't had a Snickers bar in more than 6 years since I started Plexus, because I don't crave it. I don't feel like my blood sugar is doing this roller coaster ride that many of ours do, because I'm not basically I'm not I no longer am hooked on carbs. I used to be like most of the people in the world, which is 75 to 80% of us eat more than 70% carbs in our diet. And carbs are not the devil, but carbs have problems, and they don't power us for very long, and we get low energy 1 to 2 hours later after we eat a carbohydrate meal. And that's something that I used to experience. I felt like I had to snack all the time. And now, since I've been using these products and I got my gut healthy, I don't even crave sugary, sweet, that kinds of stuff. My vice in life, I always kind of laugh. It used to be ice cream. I used to have a bowl of ice cream every single evening. And I can't even think of the last time I've even had a bowl of ice cream, to be honest. I still buy it because I like the taste and my kids like it, but we just rarely eat it. And the reason that I don't crave it is because Plexus has changed my gut. And I'll talk about gut in just a second, but it's changed and evened out my blood sugar. So I don't get those peaks and valleys and the peaks and valleys. I mean, think about last time you ate a big meal. Maybe it was Sunday, maybe it was, during the holidays. Like after you ate that meal, what did you want to do? Like you wanted to take a nap. Like, I mean, you weren't feeling energized. And with these products, you'll basically be able to keep your energy up the whole day. Like, you won't feel like, oh my gosh, I got to get that snack out of my wallet, purse, backpack, work bag, whatever. You won't feel like you even need that anymore. And the reason that happens is because you change your gut health. And so I'll talk a little bit about that. And all of us have lots of bacteria in our gut. We got good ones and we got bad ones. And if we can get the good ones to basically dominate, we'll be much healthier. You guys may have heard of things like leaky gut or irritable bowel, or maybe have problems with, constipation, diarrhea, gut, kind of pain, cramps, all these kinds of things that we may get. And one of the things that Plexus can do is it can balance out that gut by healthy, probiotics, for example, is one of the things that we take, and it'll even out that intestinal flora so that not only do you have better energy throughout the day, but you stop craving the crappy stuff. Like there are literally bacteria in your gut that tell you to eat crappy food. Like literally, they're sending your brain signals. So it's not that you're weak. It's not that you just can't do this. Like you're sabotaging yourself by eating crappy food, because that crappy food feeds the bacteria that tells you to eat more crappy food. When I say crappy, I'm talking about highly processed, carbohydrate rich stuff, which is almost everything you buy from the grocery store that comes with a label on it. Like if it's got a barcode and a label, chances are it's got some highly processed carbohydrates in there, which are not awesome. But when you start taking the Plexus products, it will give you basically, it almost feels like, although it's not like more willpower, but it'll basically give you less of these cravings to want to reach for this crappy food. I mean, it's amazing. Like I couldn't even share this with you had it not happened to me individually, because I would have said, oh, that doesn't even make sense. Like, what do you mean I'm going to stop craving that sugary stuff? Like I love ice cream. I still do to this day, but I basically never crave it ever. But I still, like, if you get me, my favorite flavor of Haagen-Dazs or Tillamook, like I'll probably still have a bite, but because I like the flavor, I like the taste, but I just don't crave it anymore. So that's what gut health will do for you. It will help you to not crave the crappy stuff, and you'll get healthier from it. Like not only will you stop eating some of this not so awesome, food, but you'll actually have more of a desire to eat healthier food. And that'll pay huge dividends in your own personal health. Your energy levels will be good. I mean, you can ask my wife. I was the biggest skeptic of all times, probably at least as big as James. Like all of us in medicine, like we want to poo-poo anything that we didn't get taught in medical school or wherever our training may have been, because we just, that's just kind of our nature. We're skeptics. And so I was one of the biggest skeptics of all times with respect to not just Plexus, but any supplement. I thought, I can get all this crap from my diet. Like, why would I spend $100 a month on supplements when I can just get it all from my diet? Well, the truth of the matter is you can't get it all from your diet. Even if you eat clean, organic, non-GMO, all that stuff. I do all that, but I was still missing out on a few things. And that's because our soils are depleted. The food quality is not what it used to be. Unless you're growing all of your own food and you know exactly the source of everything that you have. I mean, if you can do that, like kudos to you. One day I hope to be able to grow all my own food. That day hasn't come yet. But until then, for sure, 100%, I am supplementing because I feel better. It's changed literally my energy, my life. I mean, I'm going on 50 and I feel like I'm a teenager again. And like James said, it's actually changed a lot more. It's changed our finances. I've been able to be home more. I can see my kids. Like this is a legit, source of income as well. And you're not selling anything. You're just sharing your health journey with people and letting them have the opportunity to get to know these incredible products. So I think I've probably overdone my allotted time. So thanks for tuning in to this. Keep listening. Lots of good stories to come. And if you have specific questions, you can reach out to me. I'm online at Aloha Surf Doc. I have a podcast, Modern Medicine Movement. You can find that, check it out, and I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Yeah, as always, Thomas, thanks for weighing in heavy on the medical pro side. Great perspectives and kind of weaving the science in with your personal experience. Both really compelling accounts from you and James. So I'm Jan Bender, married to Julia, and we are running a raffle tonight for those that are new to the call or new to, I guess, Plexus, and that have put a 1 in the chat box. We're going to do our first drawing. So if you're new to the call and you haven't heard, place that 1 in there, and we'll do raffles further on here tonight. I think 1 or 2 more. But I think the first winner is Scott Martin. So Scott Martin, I think 1 stick or 2 of.
You'll get 2 sticks of pink drink. You can pick the flavor you want. And if you will just DM me your address, we've got a couple more coming on, then we will get that out to you. Congratulations.
Yeah, congrats. I think next up is Kyle Rainey. Thanks for sharing, Kyle.
Hey, thanks, Julie and Jan, for having me on. I'm humbled to be here tonight. I'm just upset that I have to follow Dr. Thomas Hemingway. So thanks for that. I appreciate that. And the great James Mulholland. So man, that's a hard act to follow. So I'm going to do my best. So my wife and I are both in Plexus. We've been in Plexus for over 5 years, a little over 5 years. I was a pastor for 15 years while doing Plexus and before Plexus. And so I would like to tell you just a brief glimpse of our story, because I think like Thomas, I could just go on, and like James go on and on about all the amazing things that Plexus has done for us. But I want to kind of give you a little bit of perspective of kind of where we were at, and maybe you can relate to the story as you're watching this this evening or whenever you get to watch the recording. So 5.5 years ago, my wife and I found ourselves in a really difficult situation. I was pastoring a church, also teaching a local university, and both those jobs came to an end due to finances. My department head said, hey, sorry, we don't have the money to pay you anymore. And my church said, sorry, we can't pay you anymore. So both jobs kind of went away all of a sudden, and we found ourselves in a really bad financial spot. We had to go on government assistance and do all the things in which we needed to do to survive. I was holding down 3 part-time jobs after that. And whenever you're stressed about finances and money, I think a lot of people can relate to that. You don't care about your health. Like the last thing you think about is being healthy. You just care about how we're going to pay rent the next month, how we're going to pay bills the next month. I mean, so that's all we really cared about. And our health, my wife and I's health, was rock bottom. I mean, just like James talked about earlier, I was chugging down the Red Bulls. I was going through pots of coffee every single day. So was she. You know, we were parenting from the couch. I was working all my jobs, coming home and just crashing, right? And so our health was at a really, really low point. And it wasn't until Cassie kind of came along Plexus. There was actually a former student in my student ministry from many years back post about Plexus. And we were just like, we were so desperate. We decided, well, we'll give anything a shot, right? So we actually, and I don't know where everybody's from tonight. I said, James, you're in New York. I know Thomas is, splits his time between Hawaii and Utah, but I'm originally from the South. I lost my accent many years ago to my mother's chagrin, but my mom to this day still sends a little bit of money, even like on the most random holidays. And maybe a Southern thing, maybe it's a Southern thing, I'm not really sure. But it's like 4th of July, here's $20, whatever. I mean, it's just kind of random where we get these money. And so we had accumulated a little bit of this over time. And so we scraped that together and we bought our first triplex from Plexus. And so that's the ProBio 5, the BioCleanse, and the Plexus Slim. And my wife, she won because, she's the brains of the operation. So she won. She got to take the triplex first. Now, she had suffered from an autoimmune disorder. She had suffered for a lot of digestive issues. I mean, she had low energy. I mean, we had all the things going on for her. She was on medication at the time. I had digestive issues. I had terrible, terrible acid reflux. I mean, just some really, really raunchy things happening in both our bodies. Again, our finances were really, really at a low point. And so she began to take these products and felt incredible on them, incredible. And so we started talking to each other going like, well, how in the world are we both going to be able to get onto these products? Because I want to feel better, not just my wife. I want to feel better too as well. And so we came together and decided, hey, let's just start sharing about what these products are doing for Cassie. And that's what we did. And long story short, 5.5 years now into Plexus, we have 9 children, live in Central Oregon. 3 of those kids are adopted. All of my children are on the products. All of my kids take some form of the product, whether it be my teenagers that have vital biome, whether it be my one son who takes ease because he has a rare form of dwarfism that keeps his joints really tight. So he has to have ease, and it's just really changed his life. And, it's amazing to me to see that what I love about Plexus, it just hasn't just helped myself. It hasn't just helped my wife, but it's helped our entire family. And then 5.5 years later, just sharing about these products authentically from a genuine place and really being confident. I think this is really important, really being confident about these products and about the company that we represent. And I think Thomas and James both hinted upon this. I mean, these products are not only just amazing, they're revolutionary. They really are. They're addressing the gut. They're addressing things like you see a lot of quick fixes. You see a lot of things out there saying, if you do this in 2 weeks or in 20 days or in 30 days, you're going to feel like this. But it's just like these short bursts of health. These are legacy, long-term, refurbishing, rebuilding health products. And it's for the entire family. My 3-year-old just took her multivitamin. I mean, it's just amazing to see what these products have done and can really care for the entire family. I want to talk a little bit though about also the opportunity with Plexus. And I think as I know this is a men's event, I know a lot of men will be watching this. I think 2 things that really come to mind that Thomas even hinted upon that really have changed the way we operate as a family, not just from our health. I mean, Plexus has absolutely, like I said, revolutionized our health, but it's really affected our time together and our financial freedom. And those are 2 things I want to talk about just real quick. And what's amazing about Plexus is that it is a network marketing company. And I think when people hear that, they think, well, I've got to have inventory in my garage. I've got to put on parties. Like, who wants to work all day and then come home and put on a party for random strangers? Nobody wants to do that. What's incredible about Plexus is you don't have to do either of those things. It's just about sharing authentically about these products and what they've done to you, similar to what you've heard from Thomas tonight and from James tonight. So you can do this opportunity as much as you want or as little as you want. If you want to share about these products, you can get your products paid for. If you want to make this a legacy career, then you can do that. I will tell you the way Plexus has changed our lives financially. All 9 of my kids are in private education. I have 4 special needs children and 4 children with high medical needs. And so, those doctor bills, they mount up, the therapy bills mount up. And we have never had to put anything on credit card. We've never had to pay anything, just rail these credit cards because of their medical needs. We always can say yes to their needs because of what Plexus has done for us. 3 of our children are adopted from China. Those adoptions have been paid for by Plexus. Those adoptions are around $30,000 to $35,000 a piece per adoption. So when we say Plexus changes lives, for 3 of my children, it literally changed their forever future life. They went from not a family to having a forever family, thanks to Plexus. So yes, the products are incredible. They are, they're life-changing, but the opportunity is just as incredible because we have these life-changing products. And so I really want to encourage you tonight, as you're kind of hearing about these testimonies, hearing about these products, hearing about all the wonderful things they can do for your body as far as your energy, as your digestion, your inflammation, your blood sugar. I mean, all those things are incredible. But I really want to talk to you and speak to you, just leave you with this, that Plexus can provide an opportunity for you to have options. And I think options is really important in life. You can have options. You can choose where you want to vacation. You can choose how much you want to stay home. You can choose the path in which your family is going to go down. And before that, I didn't. Now, you may think, well, I don't want to quit my job. You know, I don't mind sharing about Plexus, but I don't want to quit my job. You don't have to quit your job. That's what's fantastic. You don't have to quit your job. I don't think James is going to be quitting nursing anytime soon, right? I mean, but he's sharing these products because then he can choose what shifts he wants to work, or he can, you know, and I know, you know, Dr. Hemingway there can choose the shifts he wants to work, and they can pull back and they can have more time, because I'll be honest with you, I didn't marry my best friend to be away from her for the majority of the week. I didn't, that's not what and I love being a dad, and I get to drop off my kids at school. I get to pick them up from school. I never used to get to do that. And you say, well, that's just picking them up and dropping off. But those are the moments, man. Those are the moments where you get to connect and you have that time freedom and that financial freedom. So you may just want to get your products paid for and change your family's health and never have to worry about that, the finances going towards a product, or you might want to make a career out of this or somewhere in between. Plexus is right for you. And I'm really, really excited that you're here this evening. You've taken that first step. And I will leave you with this. I believe that every person is one opportunity away from their lives changing forever. And it just could be that this evening may be that opportunity for you. So Jan, thank you so much for having me on. Julia, thank you so much for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks, Kyle. Really compelling. Appreciate you sharing your testimony, and sounds like you've done incredible things with the freedom that Plexus provided you. So I think, let's see here, we have another raffle coming up.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like Teresa.
That looks French.
Molinot. Some of those letters pronounced in a way better than I can do it. So you have won some pink drink, and if you DM Julia, she'll get that out to you.
Just private message me your address, and we're excited to send that out to you. Thank you. We're going to have Jan share. I'd like to say really quick, I love all these men because we have not learned really quick, but it's okay because I love your stories. And I think that that is more important than anything. So Jan's going to share his story. We're going to wrap up with Josh, and we'll go from there.
Well, I feel under-equipped based on all the medical professionals and the pastor to offer much here, but I will echo some of what they've said and then kind of share a little bit of my journey, and I will try to keep it brief. So, my wife, Julia, started the products based on some health struggles that she was going through. And within 6 months to a year of that, I was notified that I was heading on a deployment with the National Guard to Afghanistan. And in preparation for that, I was about 6 months out from that deployment. Julia said, look, I know you don't feel like you need this. You claim to be as healthy as you possibly could be, but I'd like to invest in your health, and I want to put you in these products, and just trust me. So I did feel healthy. I felt like I was, as good as I could be. And to echo a lot of what you had said, I'm a father of 4 kids. Life wears you down, and you just kind of get used to being worn down and grinding on and getting through it. And the effects for me on the health side with Plexus were subtle but profound. And I say that because it's little by little. And so those started to show up in ways that I, again, didn't see as problems, but I became accustomed to and really welcomed. So on the digestion side, that changes everyone's lives. The way that your body processes food, and like Thomas talked about, I tend to think of things in the context of war. So there is a war of bacteria in our gut, and whether we are weighing in and resourcing the proxy that we want or not is up to us. And Plexus is a way for us to weed out the bad and support the good and see the ripple effect from that, throughout our lives. So digestion was huge for me. Another thing that I, at that point would not have connected to gut health was mood and serotonin. So, like any dad, I'm running hard in a lot of different directions, and my family, um, unfortunately, gets what's left. And so when you come home and you're strung out, it's easy to have an edge about you, and to, not be as kind or as loving as you thought you would be when you got into fatherhood. And so having that boost in serotonin was huge for me. And Julia over time said, do you see that difference in yourself? Like, I recognize you're a lot softer with the kids. You're softer with me. Your patience is elevated. So that was a huge gain. Also on the health side. So I'm, 6'5" and weigh, at the time I got on Plexus, like 175 pounds. So pretty lean. Um, and that's pretty much been my story most of my life. Anytime I've dedicated time to trying to put on good mass, it's been short lived. I've taken, um, protein supplements and whatever else over time, and put a lot of time in the gym. And it's just like, all right, well, I'm a beanpole. That's what I'm going to be. There's no hope for me bulking up. And heading into this deployment, getting on these products, one of the things that's, beneficial overseas is not, when you don't have a family or someone to go home to, you got to find ways to engage yourself and decompress. And so, spend a lot of time in the gym, and for the first time in my life, put on gains that I hadn't seen before. And yeah, I was taking on CrossFit, some new routines and whatnot, and I had a lot of dedication and time on my hands. But it was, I guess, a combination of things. One, my ability to recover was better than I had experienced in years past. I'm 38 years old, so I deployed when I was 36. And between, consistent physical fitness regimen, Plexus, pretty much everything that Julia had got me onto that point, and increased calorie intake, I went from 175 pounds and came home at 205. And that was a prime fighting weight for me. Best weight best I'd felt in a long time. And when I came home and had to cut down on the workout routine and wasn't taking near the calories, I leveled out, around 190, which I'm still retaining today, like 195. And so I've got, a fraction of the workout routine, a fraction of the calorie intake, and yet Plexus is the steady. And I still, retain 15 to 20 pounds, good pounds of muscle. So that's been huge for me. Not something I would have expected. The other thing on the unexpected results is just seeing a boost in my immune system. Just a residual, I guess, the resiliency of that has been great. When you're deployed, you're under a lot of stress. You're packed into small spaces with people from all over the world, exchanging all kinds of wonderful germs. And I didn't go through a lot of the struggle that other members of my team did when it came to being knocked down by that. A lot of times they call it barracks crud. I know there's a couple military guys on the call tonight. Just pretty free of that. And that was really the only thing I'd done differently from other training iterations. What else? Oh, the other thing that I think is powerful. So those are all kind of my personal health impacts. But from watching Julia grow into this, she's reached the rank of Emerald, and the benefits to our family on the financial side. One is the satisfaction she gets from sharing it. And I think there's few things more satisfying in life than having lived through a hardship and a journey, and reflecting back on that and helping others through it. And so the benefits that she had really energized her to share with others. And doing that, she took on some leadership roles with the company and has done really well for herself. And one of the visions we had as a couple was adoption. And that was a huge endeavor for us. Like Kyle talked about, it's no small financial task. And so while I was deployed, we were, squirreling away money for that with the deployment, but also with Julia's work and the dedication she put into Plexus. And so that was a huge part of bringing about that journey from our family based on her success. Every adoption is a little bit different. The way ours was structured was that we had an opportunity to go to China for 2 weeks. Initially, we didn't even fathom taking our family with us. We're like, of course, we're going to have to find somebody to watch our kids for 2 weeks, our 3 oldest, and then we'll go to China and come home with our little girl. And because of the financial success with Plexus, we were able to take the entire family. So it turned into this kind of phenomenal, family adventure that looking back, we it would have been hard for us to do it any other way. But without Plexus, it wouldn't have been possible. So I'll wrap it up there. Like others have said, I could share more, but I think we're going to do another drawing. We're going to wait till the end.
No, that's it.
Okay.
Okay, we're going to wrap up really quick. Another quick thing that I just wanted to share, even though I'm not a man, and it's not my turn, but with the military, you don't go on trips, right? You don't have dinners, you don't have weekends away. The military actually separates families a lot. And a huge thing for us was to be able to take trips together. And that was something that normally we'd save. Our first trip together, we saved $5,000 over the course of 5 years to go on a 10-year anniversary trip. And that was the base of our adoption savings. So we rolled that into that. And we decided instead of going on a trip to Europe, we would go to China and come home with a little girl. But we gave up that trip together. And last year I was able to take us on a $5,000 trip to Cabo with Brooke and Thomas and a bunch of other incredible people with no credit card debt, no debt whatsoever, and have a really incredible trip with just the two of us for the first time in 14 years. So that is something that is huge for me, that it provides time, like Kyle said, with the person you chose to live your life with. And a lot of jobs separate and pull from time. And that is a luxury or something that people save up for years and years to take together. And this is something that's available to us pretty much every single year. So that has been a huge blessing. We are going to go with Josh right now and share his story about his health as he's down in his water. And then we'll wrap it up. But we're so grateful you guys are here, and we're gonna keep this going.
All right. Hey, how's everybody doing tonight? I'm Josh. I'm 42 years old. And where to begin? There's so much with Plexus. All our family's on it. My wife, Angie, is a senior Ruby with Plexus. We live in Bentonville, Arkansas. We have a son named Brooks. He's 7 years old and he has Down syndrome. And so we protect him. And this has been quite the couple of years for us with this, with protecting him. So Plexus has really helped us be able to do that. And Harper, who is 4 years old, is our daughter. We saved the best for last. She's quite something. But anyway, 11 months ago, if you just looked at my health, I was near death. I weighed 217 pounds. My A1C was at 11.7. My triglycerides were at 2,800. Some of the other things I couldn't even get, like my healthy fats and my bad fats, I couldn't even see those on the test because when your triglycerides are so high, they just don't register the other things you need to see. So my sugars were at 300 plus every time I measured them. I have high blood pressure. It was out of control. I had acute pain in my joints, my hands, my arms. I couldn't get down with my kids and play. I had bumps over about a third of my body. It was cholesterol seeping out, dermatologist said. So there's so much more about the health part, but that's all I'm going to include now. But so I'm down to 192 pounds. My A1C is normal. I do take some medications for some of these things, but they weren't working with the way I was going. But now they're able to work and do their job. My triglycerides are normal. My sugars are normal. My blood pressure is normal. Bumps, pain, gone. Cravings, gone. 9 sodas a day, gone. I drink hint water and coffee. That's about it. Guys, libido. Wow. I'm back, baby. Let's go to the biz. When the pandemic hit, I was in real estate. We decided to have me leave real estate because Angie is the big boss over here at the big retail company here in town. And so she didn't want to leave her job there. But so I started to stay home with Brooks. He needed some assistance, virtual learning, things like that. So I lost that income. Inside of a year, Angie working evenings has replaced my income with Plexus income. That's inside of a year. I felt inadequate at a certain time, but now I've gotten over that. So she did that while working a high level corporate job. She's amazing. We've been and I've supported her every moment of the way. I just stay up with her till 2 or 3 in the morning and help her out. I send her leads. We do all that fun stuff together. We paid off her car this year. We booked some trips and we painted the entire house on the inside. And so now we went from beiges to grays. And so we're up with the times. In short, Plexus has changed the trajectory of our financial lives, our financial freedom, and our health. All my kids' health is improving. And soon we're going to be rolling in the Plexus Lexus. That's all I got.
Josh, thank you. It's pretty incredible what time freedom can do for your family. And exactly what Kyle said, it allows you to spend time with the people that you love. I think my biggest takeaway is this quote: I didn't marry my best friend to be away from him 5 days a week. And over the course of like his career, I think in the first 7 years we were married, we calculated that he was gone for about 3 years total through his first deployment. So that is what we are seeking to change. And so I would encourage you guys that whether it's your health that needs a shift, or your finances that need a shift, or you want time freedom, or you want to spend time, you need finances to do that, to spend time with the people that you love and to help the people you love and to help your family and to be in a place where you can say yes. That is the biggest thing that I think we all want, is that when the needs come, when the adoption prompting comes, when the prayer is answered and God put something in your path, that you can say, yes, I can help. Yes, I can do that. Yes, I can impact that person. And this is an avenue to say yes, starting with your health. And you're able to show up in the way that you have energy and you're sleeping well and you're showing up present and healthy and out of the doctor's offices, so you can bless the people around you and make an impact. So thank you so much for coming. We will close this up now and let you guys get back to your families. But thank you so much for all the time you spent here. Thank you all who contributed and who shared their stories. We're so grateful and we're excited to share this. Absolutely, it was recorded, so we'll have this posted for you guys to share with anybody that comes to mind as you were listening. Thanks so much and have a great night.